For today, we are going to start with a new grammar lesson, gerunds and infinitives. Open your student's book on page 73, gerunds and infinitives. Look at the first task here, task letter A. We use gerunds with verbs and ing endings. We form full infinitives. We use verb infinitives after modal verbs, had better to give advice, and would rather to talk about preference. So, here we have gerunds and infinitives. Gerunds, verbs, and ing endings. We call it gerunds. Verbs and ing. Full infinitives, to and the verb. Bare infinitives, infinitives without to. We call it bare infinitives. We use bare infinitive after modal verbs or after had better to give advice or after would rather to talk about preference. Read the sentences below and underline the gerunds, bare infinitives, and full infinitives. Let's start. The first sentence here, parents should encourage their children to take up sports. Here you have to underline encourage and to take up. Encourage, it is here a bare infinitive because after a modal verb, should. To take up here, it is a full infinitive, to and the verb. The second sentence we have, I don't really feel up to going out tonight. You have to underline here going out. It is a gerund. And in the following exercise or in the following task, you will see why do we use here a gerund. Sentence number 3. Henry got to the stadium early to get good seats. To get, it is a full infinitive. To and the verb. Sentence number 4. Training hard for hours a day is what he does. You have to underline training. Training, it is a gerund. Verb and ing ending. Sentence number 4. We were pleased to see our team win. You have to underline to see. It is full infinitive, to and the verb. Sentence number 6. I'm bored with watching TV all weekend. You have to underline watching. It is a gerund. Verb and ing ending. Sentence number 7. Sally wasn't fast enough to beat the other runner. You have to underline to beat. It is a full infinitive, to and the verb. Now, let's get familiar with why do we use a gerund or a verb infinitive or full infinitive according to the following sentences we have from 1 to 7 in this task. Task letter B. Look at this task. Look at what form do we use after from A to G below. You have to write G for gerund, B for bare infinitive, or F for full infinitive. The first one, letter A, certain adjectives. What form do we use after certain adjectives? Gerund, bare infinitive, or full infinitive? You can check here the example we have. Example sentence number 5. After certain adjectives, here we have an adjective, pleased. We use full infinitive, pleased to see. So after certain adjectives, such as here we have pleased, you have to choose or to write full infinitive. So to see, it is a full infinitive. So the correct option here to choose A, full infinitive. What do you think after a preposition? What do we use after a preposition? Gerund, bare infinitive, or full infinitive? Let's see the examples here to decide. After a preposition, to know what do we use or what form do we use after a preposition, look at example sentence number 6. Here we have, I'm bored with watching TV all weekend. Here we have a preposition with. So what do we use? What form do we use after a preposition? You can notice that after a preposition, we write or we choose a gerund. Excellent, a gerund. So the correct option to choose here, a gerund or G, letter G, which refers to a gerund or for gerund. What do you think about this one? After to and enough, what do we choose? Let's see the examples here. What do we write after to and enough? Here we have an example. Sentence number 7. We have the word enough. Sally wasn't fast enough to beat the other runner. So, what do you think? What do we choose or what do we write after the word enough? Excellent. We write full infinitive. You have to write full infinitive after the following words, to and enough. So, full infinitive, you have to choose this option F. After to and enough, you have to write full infinitive. What do you think about this one? A phrasal verb. After a phrasal verb, according to the following sentences, you will find that after a phrasal verb, we write a gerund. Look at the example we have, sentence number 2. I don't really feel up to going out tonight. So after a phrasal verb, here we have it, feel up to, we write a gerund, going to. So the correct option to choose here, it is what? A gerund, G. Good. What do you think after a model? The example you have in task letter A, sentence number 1. Parents, let me go back to it, just to see the example. Parents should encourage. So after a modal verb, you have to write a bare infinitive. Bare infinitive means infinitive without to. So should encourage. Here we have, after a phrasal verb, gerund. You have to choose a gerund. After a modal verb, you have to choose bare infinitive. Bare infinitive. Let's see this example now. After a modal verb, you have to write a bare infinitive. What do you think about this one? To show purpose. If you want to show a purpose, what should you choose? Gerund, bare infinitive, or full infinitive? Let's see the example here. Look at sentence number 3. Henry got to the stadium early to get good seats. So Henry got to the stadium early to get. So to show purpose, the purpose of the action is. So we choose here to infinitive, which is full infinitive, to show purpose. So again, to show purpose, you have to choose full infinitive, this option, letter F, for full infinitive. The last one here, as the subject of a sentence. What do you think, according to the examples we have in sentence in task letter A? What do we choose here as a subject? As the subject of a sentence, you can notice that we choose a gerund. Look at this example, sentence number 4, training. It is a gerund. So, as the subject of a sentence, you have to choose a gerund. So here you can get the correct answers after that, or as the subject of a sentence, you have to choose a gerund. Now, in task letter C, you have to complete the sentences with the correct form of the verb. We have here 5 verbs between the brackets: go, buy, pay, train, and travel. You have to choose the correct form of the verb, whether to choose a gerund, full infinitive, or a bare infinitive. Answer it, and we are going to discuss your answers in our next session. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.